All right, good morning, everyone. Once again, thank you for waiting. And at this point, we will formally start our program by, of course, having the opening prayer. So, can I ask Mr. Bjorn Grimaldo to lead us with the opening prayer?
All right. Good morning, everyone. So before we start, we'll just have our word of prayer and let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful day, for bringing us together, the NSTP instructors and students for this webinar. Thank you, Father, for giving us our stable device and our strong internet connection. But we're also praying for our technical difficulties that it will be fixed, Lord. And we pray that we'll be able to admit more students and more students can watch our webinar today through the live streaming. We are praying also, Father, that you continue to give wisdom to our speaker that you'll be using this morning. May she impart to us substantial knowledge that we will be needing as young people, and as how he can use this uh, to be uh, to be effective citizens of our country, and maybe also know some things on how we can help amidst this crisis. We are thanking you, Father, for this platform and for this opportunity for our gathering. Thank you, Lord, as we ask in the most precious name of all, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please be ready for the Philippine National Anthem.
Kayang magiliw, perlas ang silanganan, alaw ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo banghaw, malilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilingling, ang bituin at araw na kailan pang may di magdidilim, lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Bjorn, for the assistance. And now, and we are now in the most important part of our seminar, of course, or webinar. And our, like what I've told you earlier, our speaker is is here. So actually, she's been here since I think around 9 or 9:30 a.m. Yeah. So okay. So with that, can I call on my partner, Miss Ira, to formally introduce our speaker?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much, Ma'am Yan, for this wonderful morning with you. Okay. So our guest speaker, ayan. Okay. She is currently taking her Doctor of Dental Medicine from Centro Escolar University, Makati. Okay. And as for her experience, She is the founder and executive director of the Youth Uprising from 2019 up to present. So, what is a youth uprising? No, it is believe in the power and potential of youth to create solutions to the most pressing challenges of our time, driven by the grief. Their mission is to support the youth to create positive change towards a more inclusive, fair, and sustainable communities. So their projects are more on Omagula, grow your own food contest, you can be anything campaign, International Youth Day Summit, youth engagement for global action, youth democracy webinar, cancel culture, and new rules of engagement. So please welcome our guest speaker for this morning, Miss Robyn Camille Mijares. Ayan. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining
Thank,
us this morning.
thank you. Good morning, everyone, to our professors and coordinators, and to all our NSTP 2 students. I'm so excited to impart my knowledge on you guys, and I know maaga, so I'll try to energize you guys. Then, uh, do I start now pala? Then,
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, you may
here.
start.
okay. Can we enable screen sharing, please?
Okay.
Hindi gumagana eh.
Please try. How about this one, Miss Robyn?
Okay. The other Robin Camille na device, you may add that
The
admin.
admin. All
Yes.
right. Sure. Sir Team. Wait lang po. Ayan. Si Sir Team is our host. Hello, Sir Team. Can you assist? Ito, try natin to. Isa.
Yeah, sure,
Three.
ma'am. Just give me a second. I will try to make you a co-host, ma'am. 1 second. I'm
Okay.
sorry for the inconvenience. Medyo nagkaroon ng technical
Technical.
problems.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm so
It's
stressed. Anyway, give me a second.
sure. It's okay. Actually, sir, you can just
Mhm.
allow the screen share po.
Okay, okay.
Ayan. So, class, Miss Robyn is here. So later on, actually, after the talk of Miss Robyn, we can actually have the Q&A. That's why we're asking you to prepare your paper, your notes, because I believe her answers and clarifications will really be helpful to everyone para magamit din natin siya sa mga outputs na gagawin natin. Okay? Ayan. So, let's see. Ganon talaga pag live, di ba? So,
Sige.
at least we have
Oh,
stable
wait lang
internet
ah.
connection. How about this one, Robyn? Miss Rob?
It's still... Wait.
It's still not
Yeah.
allowing
Wait
you?
lang.
Okay. For a minute, I think. How about that
Um,
one? Mm-hmm.
ayan na. It's
Yeah.
working na.
Okay.
Here we go. Hey, okay.
Yay.
So, eto na. Let's just wait for the slide. Ayan. Ayan. Do you guys see it na?
Yes, po.
Oh, okay, so good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I would just like to give thanks to the Lyceum of the Philippine University and the professors and, like I said, the administrators and coordinators of this webinar. And most importantly, Ms. Yan for inviting me and Youth Uprising to share and discuss about youth engagement for positive change amidst the pandemic to everyone watching and listening here today. So, ano ba usapan natin ngayon. So, talk about what is youth uprising, what are the struggles that we as youth face, what are our current initiatives to help combat these struggles, and the how, why, and now of you being able to create positive change no matter where you are. So, tas dahil ayoko to maging parang lecture, parang online classes natin. Kasi baka biglang MIA na kayo dyan sa computer nyo. Kasi relate ako, kasi ganyan din ako sa class ko. Let's just have an informal conversation. So I encourage you all to just chat sa chat box below if something relates to you or if you have an idea you want to share. Open kami dun. At also, keep in mind, besides sa Q&A, mamaya magtatanong ako na mag-comment kayo down to answer my question na, what are your plans after this discussion? It can be both big or small, so up to you guys. So you could write down your ideas, your options later. So to begin, hi, like they said, I am Robyn Mijares. I'm the Executive Director and Founder of Youth Uprising Philippines. And aside from that, I am also a first-year college student studying Doctor of Dental Medicine. So, ano ba ang Youth Uprising? As an overview, Youth Uprising is a non-profit youth organization me and my sisters founded noong 2017 when we were only ages of 15, 17, and 21. So yung ate ko nasa college, ako nasa senior high school, and my sister was in junior high school. Because we all believed in the power and the potential of the youth to create solutions to the most pressing challenges of our time. Driven by this belief, our mission is to support the youth to create positive change towards a more inclusive, fair, and sustainable community. So, like I said, we built this organization mainly because we have experienced firsthand what the struggles and barriers are that tried to hold us back when we were still starting out and trying to help our community. And so we wanted to help others who are also empowered, like yourselves, overcome these challenges. So of course, kailangan natin malaman, ano nga ba yung major challenges and struggles na we as youth face? I'll discuss them one by one. And I promise na relate kayo dito sa iba, pero baka hindi nyo lang na-realize. So, first is, we are unconsciously discriminated because of our age. I think we all know this, na it's sad because this form of discrimination has become normalized in our community, in our society, and culture. Na minsan, yung hindi na nga natin siya napapansin as discrimination because gano'n na tayo kasanay marinig siya. So, example nito is yung pagsasabi ng parents or adults na, ay, bata ka pa, or you're too young to do that. It's discriminating in a way na they make us feel belittled and it makes us feel like we have no potential to do anything. It's because of our age. Next, adults often underestimate in our level of awareness. Ito yung when they think hindi tayo capable of understanding yung situations going on around us just because we are young. So they say things naman like, maintindihan mo yan pag mas matanda ka na. Or you won't get it, di mo siya magigets. Tapos, ito din yung pag, kunyari nanonood lang kayo ng news. Tapos you ask, ano niya? Ano meron? Sasabihin lang nila sa'yo, ay wala, hindi mo na kailangan malaman. They are excluding us from the conversation and making us think na parang hindi natin siya magigets like they do. But actually, sa totoo, in our generation, where we have unlimited access as well as formulating discussions. Ito yung completely ignore us and our suggestions because they don't take us seriously. Instantly isipin nila if you give your suggestion na walang makakontribute yung idea mo or yung proposal mo. Because, especially to the given problem. And lalo na if the problem is of massive or large scale. Because we all think and have the mentality na a big problem can only be solved by a big person, which is not true. Next is our skill sets and abilities are judged based on experience. And to be honest, admit na natin, totoo naman, we do not have that much experience yet as young people. We still need guidance, still need help from mentors and our teachers and professors who are much older with years of experience. But we as youth should not see this as a disadvantage. So don't interpret it as us lacking. Instead, interpret it as us still growing and learning as we go along. Next, another big problem we have, I think alam niyo to na, we do not have direct resources. This part is very self-explanatory na kasi most of us are still students. We do not have jobs, we do not have income to earn money for ourselves, making it difficult to fund our projects and initiatives because we simply do not have money to buy them or the knowledge to know where to get them. And the recent problem we just had now is we now have to follow protocol. It is funny nga kasi before the pandemic, one of our biggest struggles as a youth was that we had no time due to face-to-face classes because we had to commute and stuff like that. But now that we have switched to online distance learning, we have so much time. Pero most of us are not even allowed to go out at all during quarantine and lockdown. So us having to stay at home has become a hurdle for us as young people. Mainly because we now have very limited to take into consideration as well. And last but not the least, one of our biggest problems as youth is we as youth sometimes get discouraged and give up. This happens sadly most often to our fellow youth because sometimes due to all these contributing factors I mentioned, we completely lose our confidence in both ourselves and our ideas because we end up believing what the adults say. So now that I mentioned all these major struggles we as youth face, here are some initiatives that I want to share to you guys that we at Youth Uprising created to help the youth overcome these challenges and become more empowered and mobilized to bring their passion and ideas to life. So like the screen is showing, we celebrate International Youth Day 2020 with the theme being Youth Engagement for Global Action, in which we invited various speakers to talk about all the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. So we talked about leadership of youth, urban gardening, life below water, partnership for the goals, diversity inclusion, and all the SDGs from 1 to 17. So next, we also had an event to celebrate the International Day of the Girl titled You Can Be Anything, where we invited different professional women from male-dominated careers. Like, if you can see sa picture, diba, we had female engineers, we had a female pilot, we had a firefighter, police officer, CEOs, managers, farmers, and even had Miss Pia Arcangel as our female journalist. We did this so that they may share their stories to all the young girls and show them that they can be anything they aspire to be and that their gender should not hinder them from their dream jobs. We also had webinars with the Swedish Embassy, with the first being a panel discussion about the youth's role in democracy, letting everyone understand that we cannot have a true democracy if we as youth are not able to participate or allowed to participate. Our second webinar with the embassy was titled #CancelLed, where we talked about cancel culture and the new forms of engagement. Because as we all know, our generation is very familiar with things like social media and the digital platform. So we wanted to speak about how we should always treat people with the same ethics and respect we would show both online and offline, and how we should remind ourselves that there is a person behind the screen. So next is our next would have to be our biggest initiative that Miss mentioned a while ago, which is our Omagula Grow Your Own Food Contest, which is currently ongoing and is our response to COVID-19. We created this initiative to fight against the food security threat problem brought about by the pandemic. And we are so happy to say that we are able to support now all 42 public schools in Las Piñas City, distributing over 10,000 seed packets, over 4,000 kilograms of potting mix, and over 2,000 seedlings to empower all Las Piñas public school students to be able to grow their own food and making them become the primary food providers for their families and their households amidst the pandemic. Tapos, since this initiative was so big, I can't explain it all. So I'll just show you guys a video to show you all how we conduct it and how we still follow protocols while doing this initiative. So, enjoy.
Community quarantine is hereby imposed in the entire of Metro Manila.
Millions of Filipino families experience hunger as the Philippines grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic.
The COVID-19 pandemic has become a major threat to our food security. However, we can transform it into an opportunity to make the Philippines resilient and stronger. We in Youth Uprising believe in the power and potential of the youth in creating solutions during the most pressing challenges. Driven by this belief, our mission in Youth Uprising is to support our fellow youth to create positive changes towards a more inclusive, fair, and sustainable community. We in Youth Uprising believe that the youth is the backbone to our society and that our participation in any aspect in the society is very important. Youth empowerment is a set of measures that is designed to increase the degree of autonomy and self-determination in the youth and in our communities to enable them to do their interests in a responsible and self-determined way. Once we liberate ourselves and realize that we are in fact empowered through our own thinking, we will get the world to see us as the youth beyond our years. So in line with our mission, we at Youth Uprising are implementing Omagula, Grow Your Own Food Contest, in partnership with the City Agriculture Office of Las Piñas City and Brigada Escuela for the youth of Las Piñas City Public Schools. This is to ensure food availability and maintaining production amidst the food security threat of COVID-19. So what are our goals for this initiative? 1. It is to ensure food availability and sufficiency throughout the threat of COVID-19. 2. To provide households with nutritious, fresh, and healthy food from their backyard to their table, thus keeping them healthy and more immune to the spread of disease. 3. To not only promote physical health, but as well as well-being and mental health. And lastly, it's to create a productive and rewarding activity for the youth and their family to participate in together.
Benefits of our initiatives. We empower 2,000 students with their families by giving them the opportunity to practice sustainability at the comforts of their very own homes. Gardening vegetables at home can help supply food for their families, lessening the need to go to grocery stores, therefore reducing long-distance transportation that can harm the environment. We also encourage them to use recycled materials for gardening so that in that way they are efficient in helping the environment. We offer free planting kits and free training to these students because exposing kids at this practice will help them develop an essential skill and help them be productive despite being quarantined at home. Community of support. This initiative also helps encourage other people to do the same practice at home, therefore getting more people involved in practicing sustainability.
So that was our Oh My Gulay video. And I'm sure lahat ng nakikinig here right now, iniisip na yung backstory nito and how we came up with the idea is siguro sobrang elaborate or complex na it started from something very serious. Pero I just want to say na yung how this initiative happened, it all just started from a mock paper I had to write for one of my classes, specifically Filipino class, that they asked us to answer the question, tapos magsulat ng essay. Na yung question is, if you were barangay captain for a day, what would you do to help your community during the pandemic? So lahat sa class namin was writing about things like mass testing and stricter lockdowns, which is okay din. Pero it isn't really sustainable in the long run. So I started doing some research, and there I was made aware of the food security threat problem during COVID-19 because of the amount of unemployment and the limited movement of produce. Kasi nga, diba, you guys know yung massive unemployment rate ng country natin due to the pandemic because businesses are closing, and we also have limited movement of produce because of checkpoints and lockdowns. So I thought of urban gardening or growing your own vegetables at home so that people will not need to buy produce outside. All they need is seeds and soil. So while I was writing my paper, na-realize ko nga na parang this can actually be a really good solution and an answer to a real food security threat problem that is happening right now. So when I decided na yes, I want to try to implement this, kahit para lang sa few households ng village namin, I knew I still needed resources to get stuff required like seeds and soil. Kasi nga, I was still a student, wala naman akong pera, like most of us, diba? So, I went to the closest person I knew with resources. And try nyo hulaan, it was my mom. I told her na, Mom, can I ask if you're willing to sponsor 50 vegetable planting kits that I'm planning to distribute to some of our neighbors? And thankfully, my mom supported the initiative and my idea and gave me resources for it. Then after a while, a teacher reached out to us asking if we could support her students with this initiative. And of course, sinabi ko yes because it made me realize nga na they are the ones that need this initiative the most because they are the most affected by this pandemic. So we went to partner with the Department of Education. And so we were able to, so that we could be able to support all the public schools in Las Piñas. And of course, dahil we needed more resources. So we need to find another way to get more resources because nung tinanong ko na ulit mom ko if she's willing to sponsor, malapit na siya magka-stroke. Kasi from 50 kits to 2,000 kits. So we tried to figure out where we can get it. Then naisip namin, wait, saan pa ba makakuha ng seeds? But the city agriculture office, diba? Parang it makes sense. So, I went down there, punta ko dun sa office, na dala-dala ko lang yung mock paper proposal ko from school. And I met with them. And then, hindi ako nagulat na surprise sila at first. Na I was very young. And I was like, youngest ata sa buong building na yun. But after speaking to them and letting them understand my initiative, they saw my proposal not as someone made by 19 years old. Inisip lang nila it's a really good initiative. So they helped me execute that idea. And they believed in me and supported me. And they provided us with all the seeds and potting mix we needed. And the rest is history. So, bakit ko sinasabi to? Bakit kinakwento ko pa yung story namin and our initiatives? Why am I sharing our pandemic story? Simply because we want you to write your own stories. So, I know ngayong pandemic, it seems impossible or sobrang hirap kasi we're all locked from home. So that's why I'm giving you guys how. I'm gonna let you guys start with how you're gonna do it. Tapos as in gagawin ko specific siya and how you guys will do it kasi ayoko parang maging broad tapos hindi nyo din alam gagawin after. I'll give you just 3 simple points na palagi ko to mention to everyone asking, how do I start an initiative? So, first point natin to remember is know the problem. Kasi naman, di ba, how will you make a solution if wala kang problem to solve? So, you have to start somewhere small first, somewhere to focus on. So, you will have to look for a problem, but before you look for an advocacy, you have to know yours first. So it could be something very close to your heart. It should be something close to your heart so that you are more inclined to focus on it. So kunyari, us in Youth Uprising, we are more inclined to helping the youth of our country, like you guys, become more empowered and mobilized to start initiatives. Your initiatives could be different from mine and it varies from different people. Pwede ikaw, you're into climate action, or kunyari, you're into fighting for gender equality or fighting for LGBTQ plus rights. You could be more into helping our indigenous people in our country. You could want to support mental health. You could fight for animal rights. It's up to you. But whatever it is, it has to be very important and deep in your heart so that you are more drawn to it and you will feel as if you're not working, but more that you're doing something for your cause. Next, once you know your advocacy, do some research and learn the issues revolving there. Sagutin niyo yung mga questions then, like, why is this issue occurring? Who are affected? Where is this happening? So saan siya? What are the factors contributing to making this happen? Are there already actions being taken to try to solve it? If wala, what can I do? So keep asking yourself and others questions then. You can reach out to your friends, tanong mo, alam mo yung issue na to? Kausapin mo sila because it could be different from how you see it to how they see it. Broaden your knowledge on the topic to better understand the situation first so that you can formulate a better plan and next steps. So, second step is find your supporters and support others. Very important yung step na to because this step is about working with other people to reach a common goal. I'm sure nung nilabas ko yung point na to, lahat ng mga introverts medyo nanginig. Pero it's fine, kaya niya yan. So this step may seem impossible right now, especially dahil sa situation natin. But again, thanks to social media, we are now more able to continuously communicate with others no matter how far. So, start muna kayo sa family niyo. You could start with your friends. Encourage them to join your cause. You can join organizations with the same advocacy as you. And are currently making ways to solve it as well. Because assure ko na sa'yo, whatever your advocacy is, there's already an established organization waiting for you online via Facebook, I promise. Then, after that, surround yourself with fellow youth, people your age that also fight for the same cause and have the same passions as you do. Because it will make you feel more enjoyable when you have them around. Next is, like I said a while ago, we still need mentors and much older people to guide us. Because, like I said a while ago, we are still growing and we are still learning as we go along. So we still need some direction to be given to us by adults who believe in us and support in us, like our parents and teachers. And if I may add, for LPU to arrange this whole webinar for you guys, it is already a big indicator that teachers, professors, and coordinators of this school firmly believe and support their students to become amazing change makers of our country. And another thing we need help from adults are the access to resources. So, one of our major struggles is that we do not have personal income or funding for ourselves. So we need to ask adults if they are willing to become sponsors for our initiatives and projects and provide us with the resources we need for it. Like, for us in Youth Uprising, if not for yung partnership of the City Agriculture Office, we would not have the resources to make Omagula initiative possible. So yes, we have to work together as equals, as young people and old people, to accomplish a common goal. Finally, once you have your supporters, meron ka ng mga people backing you up, tapos ini-empower ka, do not forget to empower others as well. Share your experiences like how I am right now with you guys. Because di ba sinasabi nila, an empowered person is someone who empowers others as well. So, let's go back. Our 2 points is know the problem. Second is find your supporters and support others. So our last step is act on it. So do not just make a plan, then not execute it, diba? So because no matter how good your idea is, ahead mo, it won't actually do any good if you do not bring it to life. So don't second guess yourself or your ideas, and always remember that this step is the one that will make the 2 steps matter. So as I summarize the points of how you will do this, you guys will always remember: 1, know the problem; 2, find your supporters and support others; and 3, act on it. These 3 steps will be your blueprint to making your initiatives and projects and solutions possible come to life. So, now that alam niya na how, let's know our why. It's very important na babalik tayo palagi dito sa why. Kasi if wala tayong why, hindi na tayo gagawa ng how kasi parang wala na tayong motivation. So I think we can all agree na this quarantine has made us feel helpless and isolated in our homes. Na minsan tamad na lang tayo to do anything and we still have modules to worry about. Pero like my favorite quote once said, if you feel helpless, help someone. And I promise that this quote is very, very true. When you do things like helping your community and joining organizations, volunteering, it is very rewarding and fulfilling type of work. The feeling is unexplainable siya, pero you will feel as if you have a deeper purpose and that what you're doing is more important than anything else, including material goods or people's perspective of you. Because honestly, what you're doing is not only changing your life, but it's changing others' lives as well. So there is a sense na you know what you're doing matters to someone else and that you're making an impact on their life. It is a very righteous and noble action that maybe, kunyari, sa future, you won't remember na what you did for them. Pero for that person that you helped, I guarantee that they would remember it for the rest of their life. Another thing that we get from helping and creating solutions is that we have more awareness. We get more perspective on what's going on in our country and in our communities that most people do not see because they're busy doing something else. So we become more empathetic. We become more compassionate towards everyone around us. And we also become more appreciative and content for everything we have. Because you can now compare your situation with others as well. And how, in a sense, we have to sometimes check our privilege. I keep reminding this, we always have to check our privilege because others don't have it as good as we do. So next is, so in everything we do, we must always keep reminding ourselves why we are doing it, so that we will continue to be driven and passionate to do it. So to wrap this up, now that you know how and you know why, you should also you should able to do this now. As in right now, pick up a pen and paper right now kung may sulat, mayroon na kayong dala ngayon, and start writing your ideas and proposals. Go online and look for an organization that best suits you and your advocacy. Do some research on issues going around. Don't wait anymore na parang, baka may maghanap na ng solution dyan. No, because more problems will just keep coming. Don't let age define your intelligence, creativity, your capability to be involved in solution-making processes. I don't want this webinar to end with you guys just saying, an inspiring nun or something. No, gusto ko, once this discussion ends, you guys will start brainstorming and looking for ways to make change in your homes, your schools, community, anywhere, just somewhere. And just start right now. So as I end this discussion, I want you guys to comment down your answers to my question a while ago, where I asked, what are your plans after this initiative? After this webinar, sorry. And so that I could see all your amazing ideas and maybe help you find a way to make it possible. Also, it doesn't have to be big. It can be like me and my family will start recycling. It can be I want to start planting. Or it can be I want to donate to nearby community pantries. Or I want to create biodegradable plastic. Let your imagination run wild. I just want to see what you guys, because I'm sure that the students here in LPU are very imaginative and very creative. and I want to see what you guys want to bring to this world. So, thank you, and I'll wait for your comments.
All right. Thank you, Miss Robyn, for that very informative and of course inspiring message. So, ayan, meron pong pinost si Miss Robyn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as per Miss Glad, of course, our moderator, you may now post your questions here for the Q&A. So feel free to ask anything or to say what you want, of course, your opinions and all. And then Miss Robyn is very, free to answer the questions. Ayan. So meron tayo from EBC 101. Oh, that's my student, Alvarez.
Okay.
Ayan. So what is that? Tuloy mo yan, dear. Maybe still typing. Yan. So let's see. By the way, for the 29 more students who were in the waiting room, I believe they're also accessing the FB Live na po. So, nandun na po tayo with other classmates kasi we reach more than, I think,
Oh,
500
wow.
participants. Yeah. So, Robyn, you're actually
Oh my
anywhere now
gosh.
in social media. So, yeah, thank you for sharing your ideas. We will also try to check the FB Live, fellow
Yes,
teachers.
sure.
Baka merong mga uh, nagre-raise din ng questions doon and then we'll put it here in our Zoom. So, okay, we have here from Engineering 103. Wow, this is my student. What happens if a sponsor cancels last minute and you might not have a plan B? All right, Robyn.
Okay. That's a big problem nga. And yeah, we experienced that. Tas grabe yung panic. So, my suggestion for this is, especially if the resources you guys need from that sponsor is very important and the event can't be held back and it's important, you have to find a way to be able to communicate correctly with other people. Like, kausapin niyo, who do you talk to first? Who do you think you can fix a problem first with? Do you speak to the sponsor and tell them na, is there any other way that you can direct us to someone with that will sponsor us? Or are you able to give us anything else besides that? Tapos, if hindi talaga hindi mag-compromise dun sa sponsor, speak to the event organizers and say na parang we have to delay and push back a little so we may find more resources. Because mas okay na ma-push back. We shouldn't be ashamed of pushing back events because mas okay na ma-execute nyo properly, di ba? Instead na kulang-kulang and then hindi naman ma-execute like how you guys wanted it. So yan, just proper communication and don't panic, stay calm. Hindi niya fault yan. Yung don't blame the sponsors also, don't blame the event organizers. Just breathe lang, tapos meditate, tapos compose yourself. Tapos find a way to still continue the event no matter what the cost. Yan. So that's a good question though.
All right, thank you, Miss Robyn, for answering that question. We also have another question from Pugeda Lee of ABC 101. How do you manage your time to school and being executive director of Youth Uprising? Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Sige. I get that question a lot. Pero thank you for answering. It's really a good question nga. So, una, I would say na it's not easy. Hindi ko na siya i-sugarcoat na madali mag two jobs at once. Pero especially since I'm in a medical course, it's very difficult. Pero you just have to find time in everything. So, kunyari ako, I have cut down my leisure time. I don't watch TV much. I don't use my phone na because I use it to work na. Pero it's also, in a way, not bad kasi that becomes my leisure time. Working becomes, I make it into something fun and I make it into my rest time. I don't make it sound stressful. So, kunyari, after ng class, I try to finish all my homework. Kunyari, if the homework has a due date ng 1 week, I'll finish it by Wednesday. para meron akong 3 days na para sa organization. So, proper organizing your schedule. Pero if it's really difficult for you, like me, I still sometimes stop. Kunyari, mas important yung school natin of course. So, I still have to sometimes have break weeks so that I can focus on school more, especially in finals and midterms. So, always know your priorities first and focus on that first. Yeah. Thank you for that question.
Okay, thank you, Miss Robyn. Another question also we have from Mr. Takda of IT 102. What are your tips for students who are planning to do projects and programs but are currently busy on schoolworks?
Okay. Sige. Yung kunyari, if you have initiative you have in mind, tapos alam mo na siya paano gawin, right? Pero you don't have time naman. So for that, I suggest na, kunyari, if you have a team, having a team is very important. Kasi ito yung parang, hindi naman kayo pwede lahat sabay-sabay busy, di ba? You could say na, uy, guys, can you take on this first while I'm busy? Kayo muna take in charge. Because we have to trust people in being able to get the job done, not only us. I am not able to do all the youth uprising stuff. I still need help from my sisters. So kung busy ako, sasabihin ko, uy, pwede, can you do it first? Kasi bawal ako. And if they have free time, they'll do it. Tapos kung sila man busy, I'll do it. So you have to find again, like I said, find your supporters and support others. So make sure you work as a team because it's very hard to work in a project, especially if malaki yung project on your own.
All right.
And also, sorry.
Okay po. Sige, go ahead, ma'am.
And also, ito pala, if you're having a hard time doing initiatives, I suggest you join organizations as well online na parang meron na silang ongoing na gumagawa ng initiative. So, I highly suggest that then. Yan lang.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Robyn. That's true, no? It's really good to join volunteering programs as early as being students, no? Because they will carry it as they grow and as when they as they enter the professional world, they have the experience at hand. That's the very important thing. Yes, and we also have another question from Castro of MMA 101. However, I think it's incomplete. It's a personal question. What are your propagandas? Is that is that your question, Mr. Castro? Maybe you can rewrite the question and then we'll ask it to Ma'am Robyn later. For now, let us ask the question of Morones of IP 102. How can you know if it is the best plan or initiative to help others?
Okay. So how will you know if your initiative is good or not? Yan ba yung question? So,
yes.
Ito nasasabihin ko, you wouldn't know if it's good or bad unless you bring it to life first. So like I said, wag nyo i-keep lang sa head nyo because no matter how good your idea is or how bad, kunyari lang, you won't know unless you bring it to life. And if, may I add na parang in every idea where you seek to help people, it's never a bad idea. It's always gonna be a good idea to help others and focus on other people. Instead of, if you're scared na, baka hindi mag-work or stuff like that, at least you tried. The fact that you tried is already a good purpose and idea that you tried to execute the idea, and then you could continue to try to fix what you did wrong. You could learn na, bakit ba hindi gumana yung initiative ko? I'll fix it. So yeah, everything is a good idea as long as your goal is to help other people.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Robyn. Okay, we actually have a lot of questions now. Okay. Yes. So we have one question from Mendo of IT 102. Any tips on how to cope on being a leader on a certain group or community?
Ooh, okay. Sige. How to be a leader. So, ito yung na-realize ka kasi I've been doing this na since 2017. And, oh my God, sobrang hirap niya na una kasi it's already hard working with people. Tapos the people I had to work with is my family. So, sisters ko and stuff. So, it was hard at first kasi syempre parang nagsusungitan kami and then stuff like that. We would fight, we would argue about certain initiatives. So, my suggestion is that you do not, you learn to contain yourself and that you learn not to be a boss to them, but instead be a leader where you're like, oh, you could do it. I'll help you do this part. And then we could work together. We could have a compromise. You have to be able to, like Miss said a while ago, this will help you in your future careers because it will teach you how to respond to different people. You will learn how to speak and how to know how to convince them in different ways because people are different. You can't encourage this person like how you encourage this person. Iba sila. So you have to learn how to talk to people and you have to be calm under pressure so that because if you feel pressure, everyone in your team will feel pressure as well. So yeah, I feel like a good leader is someone who knows how to lead their team in a good space and make them feel that they're well led by you and that things will be done correctly.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing those tips, Ma'am Robyn. From FB Live, we also have a question from Miguel Teodore. How do we gather support? Like, can I have tips? And what if do they back out? What do we do when to get support? I think that's
How to
the
get
idea.
support? Okay, I get I must admit that it's hard looking for volunteers sometimes. But once you remind people, kunyari, you have these friends and then gusto na nila mag-back out, just keep reminding them why. Why are you guys doing this? It's not for you guys. Hindi to para sa friendship niyo. It's for something bigger than you guys. It is for your advocacy and it's for your cause. So as long as you guys forget that this is not for you and that you remember the bigger purpose and the bigger picture, you guys will actually work through it no matter what. And if you don't have supporters right now, like pretend you're still new to joining organizations, look in Facebook and all the organizations I saw on Facebook and worked with are actually very, very open. And you just have to PM them, tas tanong mo lang, hi, are you taking members? Are you taking up volunteers? And I assure you na mag-reply yan sa'yo and they'll take you up. Like us in Youth Uprising, if may initiative kayo right now, just PM us in our Facebook page. Tapos I'll get to you and we'll discuss it together. And then we'll give you supporters to help you with your initiative. Because I promise you, whatever your initiative is, people will be here to support it, especially those with similar causes.
All right. Thank you, Miss Robyn. And another question from Mr. Masinas Wilmar from CLC 8204. What are the things you already gave up as a student in the time that you are having youth uprising projects and how you manage it po? Yan.
Okay, so what I've given up, I don't, okay, to make it clear, wala akong give up sa school kasi bawal. Mahal ang college. So I can't, I made sure to make college into my first priority first, as in how you guys should still do. So, but what I've given up is, of course, leisure time, yung mga after ng module, instead na, manonood ng TV, I can't. I have to be like, switch tabs, docs na, gagawa na ako ng initiative proposal. So, that's what I had to give up. I also had to give up some time with my friends and stuff like that. Pero, some of my friends are also in our organization. That's why, like I said a while ago, find your supporters with the same cause as you. Because it won't feel like you're left out. Because they're still there with you nga, diba? So it's fun kasi while we're writing proposal papers, we could just be like, oh, no, tayo Netflix party or something after. So it doesn't have to be all work, like I said. It could be something very enjoyable. And also, ano ba yung sasabihin ko? Yan lang. It's just, I didn't really have to give up much for me. Before, I think sobrang doon ako nagko-complain na, oh my God, wala na akong oras and stuff like that. Pero once you go along, realize man, ay, actually, parang wala lang. It's just shifted to what my focus is. I didn't lose anything. Ganun. So, you guys should, I bet you will grow into that mindset as well, as long as you keep knowing your priorities and focusing on what you think is best for you and your organization.
All right. Thank you for answering that question. Another question from Santos of IT 102. Is it true to limit your friends while you are getting older?
Okay. So, I wouldn't suggest naman limiting your friends. Pero I don't think it's you limiting your friends. I feel like it's you growing up na ma-realize mo who your true friends are. Because as time goes on and we get older, mawawala yung mga high school friends natin na hangout lang. It's just yung magsastay sa inyo sa future, yun yung malalaman yung they'll be with you till the end. Na whatever you're doing, if you're joining an organization, you're doing something, they'll support you. And people na mga mamimit niya lang once in your life, tas aalis agad, that's not really someone who supports you and will support you till the end. So those who stay, you should value them and cherish them because they are the ones who will keep you going as well. They'll empower you more. And sila yung magsasabi na, go lang, gawin mo yung initiative na yan. We'll support you. If gusto mo, help ka pa namin, di ba? So you have to keep these people very important. So friends and family we always have to surround ourselves with these people, no matter how busy we are. So even if I have my organization, I still focus on my friends still. Even if very limited time, they'll be like, ay, okay lang, we get it. So yun, that are the type of people you have to surround yourself with. People who will understand you and your situation because they know what you're doing it for.
Okay, thank you, Miss Robyn. Actually, we have a lot of questions. If ever no, we'll not be able to ask everything. I think we can. Miss Robyn can share that through email later on.
Yes, of
Since
course,
it's
yeah.
really, I think we're already still counting. We have 34 questions and still counting. Okay, I think
Wow,
I'll just
okay.
have to choose
Yeah.
the best question, no, para kasi masyadong mahaba na din, no.
Yes,
So
Miss Ira,
we
go.
have another question, no. This is also from Miguel Teodore. How do I prove myself if I get discriminated by adults in starting up in an initiative?
Okay, I like that question a lot because that happens to me a lot too.
Yes, we all do.
So, di ba, kunyari, di ba, buti, ang young na natin dito, professors and coordinators. So, we can all relate dito. And I'm sure everyone listening here can also contribute for this. Don't be intimidated by them. That's the first step. Huwag kayo matakot dahil lang mas matanda sila. Of course, still show respect. Pero different yun sa, as in parang, yung ayaw ko na mag-try. Just ask them directly na parang, hey, is it okay if I pitch this idea to you? Tapos, at first, wag ka ma-discourage na din. Be like, sige, ganan. You know in their face that they don't want to listen. Tuloy ka lang. Keep saying your proposal wholeheartedly and let them understand yung hype ka. You want this initiative to happen and it's not for you. Because like our experience with the City Agriculture Office, di ba nga, I went there. Ako lang tapos yung mom ko was there and she was in the car because she wanted me to go. I only had my mock proposal paper homework. Tapos nakaanap pa ako nun. Siguro naka-normal ako na damit na pambata. Tapos tumaas ako dun. And I was like the youngest sa building. And then when they saw me, medyo parang gulat sila. Parang, yung galing pala sa youth uprising, youth talaga. So, nakakatawa lang kasi parang nagulat pa sila. But after explaining to them, na-realize naman nila na, wow, they didn't see me. They saw my initiative. And that's what's important because that's what I came there for. Hindi ako dun to impress them. I wasn't there to like makachika sa kanila. I was there to show them what my proposal is and how I want to help our community. Tapos when they saw above my age and all that, they realized na this could be a really good solution. Then they implemented it. So don't be threatened because of your age. Because if ikaw pa nga, natatakot na bata ka, you're already discriminating yourself. Na parang, hindi ka na kaya. Enough na yung adults sa world to do that. We don't have to do it to ourselves. So just keep pushing through and stay brave. I know it's hard to say that kasi if lahat tayo brave, lahat na natin gagawin. So just take a deep breath, mag-meditate ka if kailangan mo bago ka pumasok doon. And just go for it. Because you have nothing to lose, really. Yeah. So thank you for that question. That was really good.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Robyn. It's really a very informative. We all learn a lot from your talk and also the question and answer portion. I believe we have loads of questions, and we'll just send it to Miss Robyn, and we'll
Yes.
forward it to our students later on. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, we have
Thank
Ma'am
you
Yan
so
with
much.
us. Okay.
Ayan. Hello. Thank you so much again, Miss Robyn, for those answers. And sobrang thank you din to our NSTP2 students, of course, for being so participative despite the time. It's almost lunch. But yeah, thank you for the cooperation and all. So, diba, sabi namin sa inyo, you'll really learn so much also from this seminar. And of course, ayan, again, we want to thank you, Miss Robyn. And with that, let's proceed to the next part of our program. And now, Miss Ira, please do the honor.
All
Okay.
right, for the awarding of certificate, may we call on Mr. Neil Isaac Perez? Sir Neil?
Hello? Sound check. Hello po.
Yes po, we can hear you, sir.
Ayun. Sige. Sige, let's just wait for the certificate. Magka-flash po ba siya? Ayan. Okay, so thank you very much, Miss Robyn. I'm hereby presenting to you Lyceum of the Philippines, University Cavite. Present this certificate of recognition to Robyn Camille Mijares for her outstanding contributions as resource speaker during the National Service Training Program 2 webinar with the team Amidst Pandemic Youth Engagement for Positive Change, given this third day of May 2021, undersigned by our very own program chair, Mary Rose Mojica, our Dean, Attorney Janice Christine Ramos, and of course, our Vice President, Miss Maria Teresa O. Pilapil.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Sir Neil, for doing the honor. And of course, again, we thank you so much, Miss Robyn, for sparing your time to be with us. And of course, this event will really not be complete without, of course, the presence of our program chair. And of course, to give us the closing remarks, let's welcome our NSTP coordinator, Miss Mary Rose Mojica.
Good morning. Am I clear, ma'am?
Yes po,
Yes,
good
ma'am.
morning.
Hello.
Good morning
May
po.
video ba ako? Sorry
Yes
po.
po.
Yes po.
Talaga magpapakita ba? Okay, so to all the NSTP trainers and implementers, my fellow teachers, our students, and of course our invited guest speaker, Miss Robyn. Good morning. Good morning. And shoutout nga ako sa mga former students ko dyan. Congratulations, teachers. Ang dami nating participants. So, actually, hindi ako makapasok kanina pa dahil napuno na yung meeting room. Sorry talaga, Ma'am Yan. Ma'am Ira. Hindi agad ako nakapasok. And nakita ko rin sa FB live streaming via Sir Niels. Tama kay Sir Neil yan, ano?
Yes po.
Oo, ang galing talaga. Great job. Nakakatuwa talaga kayo. Sobrang na-impress ako. Kinakabahan daw kayo, sabi ni Ma'am Yan. Parang hindi naman.
Medyo
So yun, yeah.
kinakabahan po.
Ang galing, ang galing, ang galing. The teamwork, everything with good teamwork and your love for what you're doing made everything possible. 'Di ba? So again, unahin ko na congratulations to all of you. Of course, si Ma'am Yan for leading this event, Ma'am Ira, Sir Neil, uh, Ma'am Gladlyn, and all the other NSP teachers, Sir Jorn,
Sir
Sir
Neil.
Tim, may makalimutan ako.
Sir Neil.
Sir Neil, yes, Sir Neil. Sino pa hindi ko na-mention?
Si Ma'am Camille po.
Ma'am Camille, yes, Ma'am Camille, Ma'am Gladlyn. So, congratulations to all of you. Alam ko magkakaroon pa ng susunod pang mga activities like this. Okay, so I have prepared a very simple message lang for all of you. So, 3 things lang. Actually, sinend ko na to kay Ma'am Yan. Sabi ko, pa-share na lang, Ma'am Yan. Baka hindi na ako makapasok. But again, nagpaalam na lang ako sa admin council meeting. So, maka-join pa ako sa inyo. So, again, just 3 things. Unang-una, as much as we can, let's provide Christly or godly service to people, regardless of age, gender, physical appearance, level of intelligence, sexual preference, educational background, economic or social status. Kahit sino pa sila. Kung ano yung may ibibigay natin, ibigay natin. I am sure you were all inspired and motivated, encouraged by what Miss Robyn has shared with you kanina. So sobrang empowered ng bata ba yun? Parang hindi bata yung nagsalita kanina. Sobrang na-impress ako sa kanya. In short, let's just do good things without having to make other people look bad. So, pasensya na kayo, medyo may konting negative yun. Let's just do good things without having to make other people look bad or incompetent. Just do good, period. And spread love and kindness to humanity. And of course, the second point is self-care. Gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo. This has always been so important and now it has become essential nowadays. Everybody needs everybody. So, of course, ganun talaga, hindi natin kaya lahat na magbigay ng kung gaano na ibibigay ng iba. Pero yung pag-aalaga ng sarili natin, yun na yung siguro pinakamaliit na bagay na pwede natin gawin. Everybody needs everybody. So, self-care. And of course, lastly, to our dear students, you are all in good hands. Sabi nga ni Metrobank. Hindi kayo pababayaan ng mga teachers nyo. They will always find ways, sabi naman ni BDO, to provide you the highest quality of education possible even during this emerging new normal. Gagawa ng paraan ng mga teachers nyo, kami, para mabigyan kayo ng pinakamataas ng uri ng edukasyon. Learning will never stop. Mahal kayo ng mga teachers nyo, mahal kayo ng LPU. Congratulations, teachers and students. May God bless us all. Stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you and good morning.
Alright, thank you po, Ma'am Mary, for a very inspiring message to all of us. Ayan po. Okay, Ma'am Yan?
Thank you so much po. And I guess we're done na sa ating seminar. Again, thank you, Mary, for sparing your time. Alam po namin na busy kayo at ang buong college natin. But thank you for just visiting us. It really means a lot po talaga. And so, ayun, kagaya nga po ng sinabi ni Miss Ira, we are about to end na. So, at this moment, let's be ready for the LPU hymn, alright? But don't leave back class, ha? So let's have the LPU hymn first. Sir Bjorn? Okay, so again, while waiting po for the LPU hymn to play, announcements lang po after this one, meron tayong evaluation of course ng ating event, and at the same time, we'll have group photos, syempre. That's part of our narrative and of course, our evaluation din po. Okay, so ayan, konti na lang magla-lunch na tayo. Ma'am Ira, super thank you.
Yes po, virtual clap naman po tayong lahat for
Yeah!
Miss Robin
Yeah,
and
palakpakan naman
all.
natin si
Thank you
Miss
po.
Robyn and of course si Miss Mary. Ayan. Thank you so much po, Sir Bjorn. Are we ready po for the LPU hymn? Ayan. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so for now, please stand by for our evaluation.
Yes po.
Okay, for Miss Gladlyn, let's call on Miss Gladlyn Makapanas.
Ayan, good morning po, good noon sa lahat. So, for the evaluation po natin, I hope we could flash the ayan. Meron po tayong two options for the evaluation form for you to access it. First is the QR code in which you can scan. Ito pong nagpa-flash sa inyong screen. And then, for the link po, aside from the flash in the screen also, it is also available sa ating pong chat box para po you could click and redirect you to the evaluation form na po directly. Okay, so please access it as much as possible po kung kaya po within the day or as soon as possible na ma-access niyo po siya.
All right, so don't forget to access our link for our eval forms. Okay, that will be recorded no for evaluating our today's event. Ayan, so as much as we wanted to spend more time with all of you guys, we have to come to an end.